Good morning and happy tax day 2024. I hope you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, turbotax.com for all your help. Your regional team, my name is Russ Nolting. I'm your regional director. Kelly Sutter puts together this regional rally every month, and Jenny Schlipp is our regional MCA, and Leslie Jackson is always here with tech updates. We're excited about today, our special guest that's going to be speaking later, a market update. We got a bunch of things to go over. First announcements. Tomorrow at 9:30 on coffeeandprofitshare.com, I'm going to be sharing some information about an upcoming IALC vote, which references back to last August's IALC vote. If you want more information, join me tomorrow, 9:30, coffeeandprofitshare.com to sign up, and same link to log in tomorrow, so don't miss. Wealth Workshop. On Wednesday, we have our Wealth Workshop. It is with Brett Tanner and Gabby Brenneschultz. It is 12 to 5 at the PPA Center in Denver. The Wealth Workshop, you can sign up, register by going to the QR code on this screen or by talking to someone on your leadership team. Cost is $299. And 12 to 5 on Wednesday, we still have seats available for the Wealth Workshop. Little information about that. This is Brett.
All right, if you're thinking about coming to the KW Wealth Roadshow, I want to talk to two groups of people. The first one, I'm going to tell you who this isn't for. If you already have all the passive income, the wealth, tax strategies, and you're crushing it financially, this workshop isn't for you. Everyone else, listen up. You're going to spend 5 or 6 hours doing nothing but understanding your money more, your taxes, and your plan. And I want you to ask yourself a question as you think about this right now. When was the last time in your entire life that you spent 6 hours on your money? If you're like most people, that answer is never, right? We'll spend 20 hours planning a dream vacation, but we won't spend 6 hours planning the most important thing in your entire life, which I believe is your financial well-being, because that gives you all the options. You're going to leave with at least $10,000 of tax strategy. I promise you, if that doesn't happen, you come to me, I'll give your money back for your ticket myself. You're going to understand the flows of money. When money comes into your world, how should that come out of your business, into your personal, and how do you know when to invest and what to invest in? We're going to look at different asset classes, right? We all think real estate and we default to single family homes. The reality is there's a lot more asset classes than single family houses. There's everything from debt, commercial, triple net commercial buildings, natural gas royalties. There's tons of different options there. We're going to explore all of that. We're going to give you tools, calculators, and resources so that when you come across a great investment, you know exactly what to do with it. Don't miss our next workshop in your area.
All right. For those of you, some of you have been to the Wealth Workshop. It used to be an Austin, Texas only event, and we hired Brett to come up for your convenience. $299 is a lot, and it's a lot cheaper than staying at the Austin Marriott in downtown Austin. So don't miss that.
All right, if you're thinking.
Also coming soon, May 22nd, we've got Peter Chabris coming to talk about the 4 critical listing skills. This is going to be at the PPA Event Center. It's going to be Wednesday, May 22nd, 9 to noon. And this is going to be a combination of panels and training, and we've got Peter speaking in a little bit here on today's call, but here's a video from him for some background.
What's up, Keller Williams, Colorado region? It's Peter Chabris here with Keller Williams in Cincinnati. I am the head of the Chabris Group. Last year, we closed 396 transactions for $105 million in volume and 3.1 million GCI. And your leadership team has called and asked me to come out and do with you a 3-hour listings mastery mastermind. What are we going to talk about in this listing mastermind? Well, we're going to cover the 4 key skills for dominating listings in 2024. Your 4 skills in 2024. The first one is we're going to go over the top 2 lead sources for listings in 2024. The second one is we're going to talk about getting to the table. What are the MOFers, the offers for immediate response, that get you to the table the most times? That is to say, your contact to appointment kept ratio is as high as possible. Third thing we're going to talk about is just frankly, listing presentations that crush. Who's doing a great job of making a high conversion rate between appointment kept to listing taken? And finally, we're going to talk about what it means to have a happy seller and how that translates directly into happy realtors. What do I mean when I say that? We're going to talk about customer experience skills contribute directly to generating more referrals from your seller clients. So that's the deal. It's going to be 3 hours on Wednesday the 22nd from 9 to noon. I'm going to do a little bit of mindset and skill setting, and then I'm going to interview some of the top peers in Colorado that are crushing in these 4 topics, so you can get it straight from the horse's mouth, the people that are nailing it in Colorado, taking more listings and dominating in 2024, as you should. I'll see you there.
All right, so we're excited about this. We are talking to top agents in Colorado and the surrounding areas who will be panelists for this. Peters does an amazing job, and you're going to get a little sneak peek in a few moments. So don't miss that. Also, Rocky Mountain Summit at the Height in Vail. This is September 25th through 27th. You can sign up now. The VIP tickets to have breakfast with John Maxwell are nearly sold out, so don't miss that. There is a separate registration for the Luxury Summit on Wednesday with our Director of Luxury Growth, Brady Sandahl. Don't miss this. All the information can be found by scanning that QR code and or going to kwcoloradoevents.com. We've got a ton of great events this summer, including those already mentioned, and a Peak Performer Summit in Colorado Springs. Leslie, what's going on in technology?
Hi, everyone. Happy Tax Day Monday. Gosh, I didn't realize it was happening until you mentioned it, Russ. Lots of fun things happening this week, especially this week, I will say. April 18th, I'm bringing my one and only partner in crime, Nick Baldwin, with me to teach this really cool class. It's called Digital Dominance. We're going to be teaching you how to use artificial intelligence, strategies around branding, social media, and the best ways to use them. We have over 156 people already signed up. This class is free for you, and it's going to be this Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard. And then the 25th, I'm going to be kind of discussing how you can really use command to convert, to start counting those conversations or having those conversations that count and putting them into command and really maximizing your activity so that you can generate business. Next slide. Perfect. So this is a slide just showing you about this week's class. Again, it's Digital Domination with Nick and I. It's in the same time slot that I typically teach this Thursday, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard. I'm going to go ahead and just send you the link right here so that you can sign up if you haven't done so already. And I hope to see you there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're welcome. And we put our, I put my classes up here, and we all put our recorded classes up here as well.
Yeah, don't miss our YouTube channel at KW Colorado Region 7. Region 1 through 6 was already taken. Top individuals, let's move into some celebration. Top individuals for March with at number 5 with 6 closings. Corey Martin from DTC, Jenny Hart, Ryan Davis, great job. At number 4 with 4 units, the Galesh team, Allison Wall, Lauren Wilson, Tim Wade, and Megan Kelly. And the top 3, Sheila Bailey with 8 closings. Faith Young, I just saw Faith on here, with 10 closings, great job. And Lauren Valono from Denver Central led the way with 11 closings. For volume, number 10 was Stacy Strayer, number 9, Jenny Hart, number 8, Sheila Bailey, number 7, Mary Rosinski, number 6, Tim Wade. The Galesh team was number 5, almost to 5 million. Ryan Davis, over 5 million. Was number 4, and our top 3 for closed volume, Allison Wall, Lauren Valono, and number 1, John Kadavi. I'm sorry if I botched that. GCI, Victoria Merchant from the Foothills, 84,000. Colorado Ranch and Land Consultants in Grand Junction, 92,007. Jenny Hart broke the 100K mark. So did Mary Rosinski with 113,000. Number 7. Number 6 is Sheila Bailey. Number 5, the Galesh team. Ryan Davis was number 4. And our top 3 for GCI individuals, Allison, Lauren, and John. Great job. Look at that, GCI, John. Top teams, this is 2 licensed individuals. Closed units, the Ohio Group Denver West was number 5 and tied with Bradfield Ramsey Group, Wise Team, and Platinum Property Team from Client's Choice. Number 4 was AN Homes. Number 3, the Elite Teams tied with the Skinner Team, tied with Razor Group. Number 2, 7-unit Seed Property Group, and High Cap Homes took number 1 with 17 closed units. Moving on to volume, the Dolph team. I think I saw Jody. Congrats, Jody. Razor Group, the J&J Group, and number 7, Jill McFerrin Group. Number 6 is the Skinner team from Summit. The Phillips team was number 5, and Wise team was number 4. Our top 3 teams for closed volume are Seed Property Group, AN Homes, and High Cap Homes with 7,092,300 from Denver downtown. Great job. For GCI teams, the Razor Group, number 10, Colorado Springs Home Experts, number 9, the J&J Group, number 8, Jill McFerrin Group, number 7, the Skinner team, number 6, the Phillips team, number 5, Wise team, number 4, and the top 3, Seed Property Group from DTC, AN Homes from North Jeffco, and High Cap Homes, number 1. And there seems to be a typo there. Sorry about that. We'll fix it when we send out the slides in a little bit. Top groups. Luchik Group, number 10 with 11.3 units. Number 9, a tie. Bring Home Denver, tied with the Awaka Group. Relevate was number 8. The Dixon Group was number 7. Number 6, Towner Group, tied with the Kibler Group. Number 5, Colorado Lifestyle Real Estate Group. Number 4, a tie between Empower Home Team Colorado Front Range and Jamie Baker Orr Team. And the top 3 for closed units, groups, Tony Greer and Associates, wow, the Johnson Team, and EHP at number 1. Great job, everybody. Closed volume, Jamie's number 10. Congrats, Jamie. The Towner Group, number 9, the Brunner Bunch. Number 8, the Awaka Group. Number 7, number 6 is the Dixon Group. Number 5, Bring Home Denver. Number 4, the Johnson Team. And our top 3 closed volume, Colorado Lifestyle Real Estate Group from TTC, EHP from Cherry Creek, and Empower Home Team Colorado Front Range from DTC. GCI, Kibler Group, number 10. Towner Group, number 9. Jamie. Number 8, the Dixon Group. Number 7, number 6, the Awaka Group. Number 5, Colorado Lifestyle Real Estate Group. Number 4, Bring Home Denver. Number 3, the Johnson Team. Number 2, EHP. And number 1, Empower Home Team Colorado Front Range. Great job. This year, we're also doing expansion. Hubs have to be located in Colorado for March. Number 3 was the Deborah Jo Abeda team. Number 2, the PCS Pro team. Relevate was number 1. That's units. Volume, Homes of Expansion Network. Number 3, the PCS Pro team. Number 2, and Relevate number 1. GCI, Homes of Expansion Network, PCS Pro team, and number 1 was Relevate. Congrats to all of our top performers. Great month in March. Market centers. Closed volume, Denver West, number 5, Denver North, number 4, Partners, number 3, Downtown, number 2, Tech Center led the way at number 1, closed volume. Closed units, Cherry Creek at number 5, Pueblo at number 4, Partners at number 3, Downtown, Denver with 164 at number 2, and DTC at number 1 with 184 closed units. Listings taken. Denver West is number 5. KW Partners is number 4. Pueblo, number 3. Denver Tech Center, number 2. And Denver Downtown took number 1. with 125 listings. And now I'll turn it over to Cato. Is Cato here?
Yep, give me 5 seconds. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, everybody. And I didn't turn my camera on, sorry. It is a beautiful sunny day. Our real estate market is heating up. The economy is going kind of like we expected it to. So let's get right into it. So CPI went down a little bit last month. It's 3.5 year over year. However, that is still way above where we need it to be. So that is causing a little bit of heartburn on the Hill and at the Fed. And with that being said, they really need to work on getting it down to a 2.0 so that we don't burn out the economy. We'll get into that in a minute and why I say that. When we look at Colorado, Colorado is kind of on the same trajectory. In many ways, we're doing better than the country. So that's one of the reasons Denver has the hottest housing market, and our jobs look absolutely phenomenal in this state. That is the one thing our state government has done extremely well over the last couple of years. Now, talking about getting us to a 2.0, I showed the slide last month, but I wanted to re-show it again today because when you look at what's going on with our economy, the economy is heating up far too quickly. And so every time you see that one of these new spikes gets made, and in order to get to the 2%, the margin gets steeper. And what I mean by that is it becomes harder and harder. With that being said, it would basically be suicide for the Fed to drop the rates. Now, I know what the pundits are saying. They're all saying, oh, we're going to have all these drops. Folks, it's an election year. There's a cycle to an election year as well. They can't say, hey, we really don't want to do this. So that's one of the reasons why you're seeing that. One of the big problems that we're seeing, which is a good thing for the country, is that unemployment is exceptionally low. Unemployment dropped from 3.9 to 3.8 in the last month. And what that means is more people are employed. Now, when more people are employed, they're going to spend more money. It heats up inflation. That causes a problem. And now we have an issue where the Fed worries whether or not they can drop the rates or not. What's good about that is there's a number of people that might not have been clients for you earlier that now may be just because of the change in employment. When we look at the savings rate, however, we've dropped another 0.5% down to 3.6%. Now, we're not at the lowest we've ever been at. That was in 2005 at 1.4, and we are at, what are we at, 3.6? Yeah, 3.6%. But that means that inflation is really hitting the American people hard. They're not putting much money away. So start working on your list of people that are in your pipeline and start working with them on how to save. Work with your lenders, make sure that they are contacting these people regularly, keeping the dream of home ownership in front of them, because they will need some savings to get into that. Mortgage applications, while the market's heating up, mortgage applications have actually dropped a little bit in the last month, which was a little bit odd. We didn't expect that. However, when we look at the second chart here, the lower chart, that green line there is the 30-year fixed rate. As you can see, in the last couple of months, it started to creep back up a bit, which prices some people out. Has to do with the affordability index. People are getting stretched thin financially by inflation, which is why their savings rate are so low. Even though they're working, they aren't putting a lot extra away. So there are some people who are starting to pull back on searching for a house. With that being said, you're going to have to talk to more people to make sure that you're doing extremely well. Not a bad thing, and it just allows you to grow your database as you work. So, you know, mortgage applications dropped 10.6% over the last month. That means that basically you have to talk to 11 people instead of 10 this time to get your deal, if that's how many it takes. Now, looking at rates, rates went up about 0.3% from when we talked last month. They go up and down on a daily basis, sometimes an hourly basis. But overall, we are in a pretty stable range right now. So it's just something to realize that, hey, you know, please stop saying marry the house, date the rate. Yes, rates will come down at some point. We just don't know when, and we don't want you to get into a bad situation with your clients. So just let them know this is where they're going to be at right now. Don't oversell them the property. Just get them in something that is comfortable where they're earning equity right now. And if they're doing a move up, they'll figure that piece out as you work with them. That being said, and I'm going to go back a slide, we're at 7.815%. If you notice, that really doesn't put us that far above the 72 to 23 average. So we're not in a terrible place. When you're talking to millennials, there are a couple Gen Zs out there buying it, even some Gen Xers, they're going to think that these rates are really bad. You start talking to the baby boomers, they don't see anything wrong with these rates still. So it's just about educating your clients as to what is normal. What we had for the last 10 years simply wasn't normal. We're getting back to the normal now. With that being said, the Treasury spread is still rather high. This is an indication that the banks feel that there's more volatility in the market than a lot of the pundits on TV do. So you want to take a look at that and have your people shop around with your LO on what the different rates were. Still look at your buy downs, look at other incentives that they might be able to use. With that being said, I'm using Gary's slide here from Family Reunion on affordability. Affordability is still there, even in Colorado. We may think that things are expensive here, but they're really not that bad because we're actually slightly below 32% of income here with the new jobs report that came out. So we're actually looking very good compared to most of the rest of the country. Our inventory has grown by 24.7% year over year. That is, I'm going to call it slightly concerning. It doesn't mean a lot yet because we haven't seen the summer sales season. So as we see buyers come in and take some of those out, that will be good. What that does mean, though, is that it's going to slow down our pricing a little bit while we have some intense pressure pushing the pricing up. So just realize that when you're listing that you need to not price at the top of the market, price at that 90 percentile, that 85 percentile. And what you will typically find then is you'll start a bidding war and you're probably going to get pricing over the original price. Case-Shiller is showing that we are above the trend line again. That is wonderful. That means our pricing is going back up. The latest dot plot from March 20th still shows that the Fed is thinking that they're going to do a number of price cuts between now and the end of 2026. If you read the report 2 months ago, they were talking about the price cuts between now and 2025. So they've started pushing out their estimates by a year, giving themselves a little more breathing room. I think that's the Fed's indication of saying, we're not so sure we're going to be able to cut rates yet this year. So you're going to see a lot of pundits talk about this back and forth. The likelihood is if there are any rate cuts, they probably won't be until fourth quarter. There is a possibility if the economy heats up too much in the next quarter that we may still have to do one more rate hike. It's a low possibility, but it's still a possibility. Now, one of the things Gary talked about at Family Reunion that I thought was absolutely brilliant was that, hey, we do pretty much a minimum of 4.1 million sales every single year. And this is just babies are born, people pass, they, become empty nesters. So that's really what you're looking for right now. Everything above and beyond that is just icing on the cake. So really spend a lot of time digging into your sphere, farming, doing all the normal necessary things that you need to do to build your business because the affordability index is still there. I left February up because I want to show some comparisons here. So just in a month, we went from 576, 584 median price to a 595 median price for an increase of 3.49%. Our sales are up by 11.49% in closed units. Let's see, what are we at? 18.02% in volume. You'll notice that our active listings went up as well. So did our new listings. So that summer sales season is really coming on. Make sure you're getting out there and getting those listing appointments because people are getting into the market. So you want to make sure you're in front of them as quickly as possible. Overall, though, it's a very healthy market in Denver right now. It's a great thing. Again, I left January's up with February here on this screen. And Kelly has a copy of these slides. She'll get them out to you. What I really want you to note is on the far right side of both of the screens, Red shows obviously that's negative, green shows that's positive. We're starting to see the trending going the right way, because if you'd seen this back in November, almost every single one of those was red instead of green. So our market is really picking up. Agents are making a lot of money. Make sure you're getting your unfair share. Single families are doing absolutely phenomenal right now. Closed units, we did really well in 2023. Right now, looking at what's going on, we are predicting that we will be probably in the 44,000 sold range by the end of the year. Last year, we were at 40,444. So we do expect to see an increase this year, even with higher interest rates. So make sure that you are marketing and marketing. So getting to what the message is overall, it is all about Sphere right now. It's all about farming right now. It's all about getting out there, doing open houses, doing all the things you need to do. Make sure you sign up for Mega Camp. Make sure you sign up for the listing class on the 22nd. You list to last. There is a huge amount of real estate transactions that's going to happen this year, and you want to get educated on how this market is shifting, because a lot of agents aren't, and you'll be able to outcompete them. Make sure you're hitting a minimum of 3 listing appointments every week. And at the far end, I'm also going to tell you, I have changed that one. You want to start working with your investors, because with this pricing pressure, we're going to see some distressed properties hitting the market probably mid Q3 to early Q4. It's going to be a feeding frenzy for those of us who help people buy investment real estate. So if you have investors, make sure they're stockpiling some money away, if they're not buying today, because they're going to want that in about the next 4 months, 5 months, something like that. Russ, back to you.
All right, thank you, Cato. Appreciate that update. I'm excited that Peter Chabris is here. He's, as mentioned in his video, a top $1 million agent in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's a market center owner. He's a KWU Master Faculty member. He's a family guy with a daughter at BU and a son in high school. Peter, take it away.
Thanks, Russ. I appreciate that. And I am super impressed with your region. I've been on my share of regional calls, and this is an impressive one. There's a ton going on here, and it's strong, outstanding work. Let me get rid of my face because I hate looking at myself while I'm speaking to people. Okay, so first of all, guys, thanks for giving me some time to talk about what we're going to be doing. I wanted to give everyone on this call a little bit of an insight in the kind of work that we're going to be doing in the 4 critical listing skills for 2024. And so thank you as well, Russ, for the introduction. I was checking my numbers when I was looking at, because I mean, maybe some of us like me are competitive on this call, and I wanted to make sure I was credible getting in front of this group. And so I looked up our numbers for March. The Chabris group here in Cincinnati, we closed 394 units last year. I don't know why we couldn't have found 6 more to make it around 100, but last month in March, we closed 40 units for 13 million in GCI, 13 million in closed volume. And year to date, since we're talking about listings, I checked, we've taken 62 listings for the first 75 days of the year. And so we're averaging about 18 listings taken per month. So we're going to be talking about listings because, as Cato said, you list to last, and that's never been more true than it has since the proposed NARG settlement was announced. Yes, I did launch Keller Williams Seven Hills Realty and in KWU Master Faculty. So, so far, year to date, as I said, we've taken 62 listings. That's based on 69 kept listing appointments. So our listing conversion rate is 89.9 or 90%. Why do I share that? Because I want to share with you where I think we're able to win in today's market and how you can apply some of the things that we're doing, as well as some of the things that are going on locally to maximize your listings taken, especially as we roll into peak season. The first talk is going to be the top 2 listing lead sources for 2024. And I'm really excited to share these. Some of you may not be surprised, but we'll be talking about the number 1, number 2 top lead sources for 2024, as well as some specific techniques to generate more listings from each of those leads. Now, there are umpteen million different ways to generate a listing lead. I will also be sharing with you what I believe are to be the top 15 additional listing lead sources to think about. I've been a member of Gary Keller's mastermind now for 11 years. And generally speaking, all of us in that group have 3 core lead sources. And I think that we want to have probably 2 of those core lead sources be listing lead sources. So I'll be sharing with you some alternates besides number 1 and number 2. I'm also going to share what I believe to be the most clever way to offer a CMA to somebody to raise their hand if they're interested in selling. I think it's incredibly clever. We're going to start doing it right now when I read about it. And finally, in terms of listing beyond 2024, you list to last. For those of us that are playing the long game in this business, I also want to share with you how to fish upstream to start identifying your 2025 listing opportunities. If we start fishing upstream right now, or perhaps right after peak season, I think we'll all find our inventory mushrooms and our sales opportunities and market share will all grow significantly in 2025. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how do you fish upstream and identify your listing leads for 2025 now, where you don't have to compete with anybody. In addition to that, we're going to be meeting with I'll be visiting with some of the top listing agents who talk about how they generate listing leads from these top lead sources, so you can see how it's done in Colorado. After that, we're going to talk about MOFRs that work. I'm sure everybody on this phone call knows what MOFR is, make an offer for immediate response, the worst acronym ever in residential real estate sales. Here's the deal. We all kind of know this, but let me just state the obvious. Number 1, people buy from people that they trust. And the challenge is that, and trust is earned through 2 criteria. Number 1, how warm you are, how people can relate with you. And number 2, how competent you are. Do they trust you in your skills and your track record? Well, it can be really hard to establish trust and competence in a short period of time on a phone call and make people feel comfortable in meeting with you. And that's why we come up with MOFRs. Really offers or programs that are so compelling, even though that trust bridge may not have been completely crossed, they feel so compelled by the value that they're offering that they want to go ahead and book and keep that appointment. And these are called MOFRs. What's that value proposition? So I'll be sharing what the Chabris Group does for our offers for immediate response, the programs that we have found sellers are most interested in. Again, we're also going to talk to agents in Colorado who have strong MOFRs that's booking the appointment to get to that kitchen table and keep the appointment so they can move on to our next topic, and that is listing presentations that crush. So, and this is all about listing skills, right? Right now, year to date, the Chabris Group is an 89.9% kept appointment to listing taken ratio. That is to say, we're taking 9 out of 10 listing appointments that we go on. I feel that's a pretty good average. And the other thing that I'd like to share, and this is by no means listings, this is no means commission collusion, but I am proud to share that our average listing side commission is 3.4%. So certainly over the 2.5 or 3 that most people are averaging. So we're doing something right with our listing presentations. I'm going to share with you how our listing presentation is structured, why it's structured that way, and how we position ourselves as a stronger value proposition than rank and file realtors the seller can also interview. Thereafter, we'll do it again. We'll sit down with some of your top agents and we'll talk with them about how are they crushing that listing appointment? What are they doing tactically? Not big picture. What are they doing tactically that's securing so many listings? What are the tips, tricks, hacks, skills, mindset that they are employing that's enabling them to take so many listings in this market? I'm also going to share with you at the end of that time what I believe is the most frequently missed component of a strong value proposition. I think this is where the majority of agents fall flat on their faces. And I'm going to make sure I cover that with you in detail, what it is, number 1. Number 2, how to address it in a succinct and effective fashion during the listing presentation. Finally, the last thing I'm going to do, the last panel that we're going to do is happy seller, happy realtor. I want to share with you the best way to generate listing leads when you have a listing. The short news is that it's done through phenomenal customer experience. Back in 2017, I wrote the MAPS group coaching program on systemizing customer experience. And it was based on or grounded really in the systems that our sales team, the Chabris Group in Cincinnati, used to systemize and elevate and improve our clients' experience, our customer experience. In fact, when we did this, we generated 33% more sales in 1 year. And we did it with 2 less sales agents and without spending $1 more on marketing or lead generation. So I want to share with you some of the most implementable, most easily implemented, actionable steps to improve your customer experience, to generate more listing leads while you're on the market and thereafter after a successful closing. So here's the fundamentals of customer experience, specifically as they apply to listings. And I want you to be able to integrate those into your listing presentation and your listing plan, your service plan for your clients. As soon as this session ends, I want you to be able to go home, implement some of these things immediately, so that you can level up the amount of listing referral leads that you generate from current and past clients. So, Russ, that's the scoop. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. How did I do there in terms of time and content?
Perfect. We're looking forward to you being here next month.
Perfect. I'm thrilled, guys. I'm super excited. And if you're curious to see if I'm legit or not, you can go to lockboxcoaching.com. I put a blog out once a week with tips and hints and tricks for people that are interested in growing their sales or their sales skills. You can check me out there. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in a month.
All right. Thanks a bunch. Thank you, Colorado. Have a great rest of your May. See you soon.